The Swords of Solitude are short on volunteers and full on trouble. There's honest gold aplenty if you've got enough spine for the work. I need a giant slayer, and not just any giant. A sea giant. Made landfall just today and promptly slaughtered a patrol of the King's soldiers on the coast. Save was the one who brought us word. I need you to kill it and find what's left of the unfortunate patrol. They had scouting reports that are needed back here. And if you need anything else, speak to the surviving soldier, Shield Captain Viglia. Should still be at the Lonely Troll, drinking ways of grief. I'm hoping you earned your reward. Mostly, so I can earn my commission. Your typical giant's an oafish brute that can barely feed and clothe itself. Not the sort of thing you'd expect to build a ship, let alone sail one. Thought they were just another fanciful tale sailors spun until that scout returned pale as death. A brush with death will do things to a mind, but the army are no strangers to giants. They don't trouble us often, but when they do, it's usually the King's soldiers who clash with the brutes. When one says this is no normal giant, I believe them. The Swords of Solitude Militia, oldest volunteer army in the hold. We've defended the people of Western Skyrim for generations. The High King's soldiers cannot respond to every petition for assistance, so we lend our aid to those willing to pay. Western Skyrim doesn't need a bunch of outsiders telling us how to handle our affairs. The High King permits the guilds their presence here, but they work through us or not at all. Skyrim can fend for itself, though we are on lean times. We've never had such a shortage of folk willing to fight to defend their neighbors. I don't know where all the brave souls have gone, but Solitude feels lean as a lone wolf these days. So here I am, on the street like a beggar. Dark times.
me.
What's the word on the task I gave you? Is Skyrim a little safer today? Haha, well done! You not only saved me from having to send someone to recover your corpse, you found the scouts' missing information and stopped the sea giant from killing anyone else. I'll bring these notes to the proper authorities. Here's your reward. Try not to celebrate too enthusiastically. We'll likely need you in fighting shape again soon. The Swords of Solitude are short on volunteers and full on trouble. There's honest gold aplenty if you've got enough spine for the work. A goatherd has been complaining about wolves preying on his goats for weeks. Normally, that wouldn't be of much concern. But the last volunteer we sent came back on his shield with his guts torn out. Turns out the goat snatchers are werewolves. And save those goats! Gerval can't afford to pay otherwise. Werewolves should have the sense not to slaughter all their prey at once, so there's a good chance at least a few are still alive. Feed them these berries and they'll wander home, supposedly. If you're hoping for a different task, I have nothing else for you. Not much more I can tell you. I haven't got numbers on the werewolf pack, but I wouldn't go after them alone. As for the goats, I only know Gerval insists those berries would get them to head home. He's still in Solitude if you need to know more.
What do you want?
Pleased to see you in Solitude, stranger. Used to be a goat herd's biggest troubles were half-chewed boots. Oh, what I'd give for those days again. Oh, it was heartbreaking. The whole herd snatched up and wailing into the night. You ever heard a goat scream? It'll haunt you. Oh, they're good goats. They don't deserve to be torn apart by man-wolves. You'll bring them back to me, won't you? That's what I used to train them. Goats are plenty smart, you know? Stubborn, sure, but smart. They're more cooperative once they're a bit sloshed on fermented berries. A handful should calm their nerves and stoke their appetites enough to head home.
Anything good?
I'm grateful to the divines for your arrival.
I can't believe Inyald stood up to those werewolves. I never thought she even liked me, but there she was, defending our lives.
Thank you for saving us from those monsters. I'm beginning to question my fondness of living outdoors. Only wounded my pride. My boy and son by Mara are unharmed. That's all that matters. My boy married a miller's son. He's a soft lad. Never spent a night under the open sky. I didn't. I was determined to make rail lords out of them both. Teach them to live off the land as our ancestors did. Instead, I nearly got us all killed. Otto loves my son. That should have been more than enough for my approval.
Another find for your pack.
I only accept victory or death, and you're still breathing. What do you have to report? Gavar will be grateful to have his goats back, but you'll have more than a goat herd's thanks for dealing with those werewolves. Left unchecked, the pack would grow, and they'd make bolder attacks than simple goat snatching. Problems are not in short supply. Return tomorrow, and I'm certain to have something for you to deal with.
Pleased to see you in solitude, stranger.
Our militia is recruiting for a dangerous mission, but I'm up to my ears in milk drinkers. You've got some guts, haven't you? The orcs near Mor Kazgor hold tests of strength to find worthy leaders. The victors often go on to rule clans or lead armies. Unfortunately, the newest champion has been accused of cheating, and that's got the orcs in an uproar. Right now, the orcs are only hurling accusations, but soon they'll be throwing more than insults, and that'll turn into a civil war that will spill into our holds. We need to remove Skreg and provide proof that he wasn't worthy of being champion first. I'm hoping you earned your reward. Mostly, so I can earn my commission. Skreg isn't going to step down without a fight, and he's amassed a loyal following. Trying to corner him is only going to lead to war. He needs to be defeated, in spite of his cheating, and discredited, so the orcs can move on.
On the move. Fight now, stories later. Save me! Right here. Stay focused. That's quite valuable, isn't it? I bet I can bang the dents from my armor while we're in town.
What's the word on the task I gave you? Is Skyrim a little safer today? Haha! This should appease the orcs of Mor Khazgul. They can embrace Greg's defeat without considering it a slight on their honor. Hopefully the next champion is less controversial. Here's something to celebrate your victory. There's nothing more for today. Enjoy a moment's peace. It won't last long. Sure, deliver me someone with some spirit. Even a month ago, it wouldn't have been this hard to find a few strong Nords to kill what needs killing. Now... Well, if you have some fight in you, our militia needs it. The coterie of organized scholars made a troubling discovery. Turns out the old legends of the Shade Mother have more truth to them than anyone believed. Now it falls on us to put an end to the foul creature before it causes any more harm. A wizened old Hagraven that's lived far too long. Legend says she sucks up the life of the land itself to sustain her longevity. She appears to be doing just that near Morthal. Kill her and use this mixture to cleanse the Shade Mother's corruption. Be quick and be victorious. The Swords of Solitude's reputation demands it. You'll have to ask Kolia Lawseeker about that. She's assured me that it will dispel the pools of corruption created by the Shade Mother around Morthal, and that's all I care to know. Kolia is in Solitude, if you wish to question her.
Is the storm over? Are we safe? And did you see how much damage the Tower of the Wolf sustained?
Everything will be all right.
The princess and her allies.
The problem with
stopped
searching for the
heralds.
truth is sometimes you find it. We are too quick to dismiss our old legends as colorful superstition. They are meant to be warnings. We should listen to them. She found someone? I didn't think there is anyone left in Solitude who wouldn't flinch at the merest suggestion of magic. Fighting the Shade Mother won't be as simple as slaying your typical Hagraven, if there is such a thing. She's far more powerful. According to the legends, her mastery of life and death is absolute. She bends nature to her will, and she feasts on the land itself to sustain her power. The clever woman I consulted said that the Shade Mother's magic is akin to necromancy. Oh, you've heard of her? I suppose she is something of a legend in her own right. Nords who dabble in the old ways are a dying breed. She made the cleansing mixture you were given to purify the Shade Mother's corruption. I trust it'll do as she says.
Oh, nice. What did you find?
The Swords of Solitude need another victory. Have you brought me one? That should prove to some of these cowards that there are better ways to deal with witchcraft than sprinkling salt over their shoulders and pray to the divines. The Swords of Solitude are honored by your victory. Take this with our gratitude. Problems are not in short supply. Return tomorrow, and I'm certain to have something for you to deal with. The Swords of Solitude are short on volunteers and full on trouble. There's honest gold aplenty if you've got enough spine for the work. Only if you're interested in nightmares. If High Priest Ingrid didn't assure me that this is no joke and dropped a bag of gold in my hands, I'd say I was being made a fool of. I'm told people are being dragged underground for a vampire feast. That's unlikely. The High Priest provided us this relic of Arche to perform funeral rites on the victims, for the sake of their souls and to drive out any lingering risk of undeath. Cleanse the bodies and kill the vampires. Priest Torbjorn can tell you more. Be quick and be victorious. The Swords of Solitude's reputation demands it. I don't know him personally, but High Priest Ingrid vouches for him. He's a member of Arche's clergy, who left on some sort of expedition. I don't know more than that, really. If you have doubts, which you should, I'd speak to him before you leave.
That's the anointed relic given to the Swords of Solitude, is it not? You have my blessings. May Arche defend you from those vampires and smite them to dust. These aren't vampires of the sort that trouble most holds. These are horrid creatures vomited up from Blackreach. Some are shriveled, beastly things. Others are hulking monsters, unrecognizable as man or mer. They are numerous and terrible. I made the mistake of venturing there as chaplain to a mining company. They found that dank, dark place and settled, but I had to leave after what I witnessed down there. Someone has to stop these vampires' slaughter. Oh, that at least will be simple. Simply hold it before the fallen victims and pray for Arche to deliver them from evil. It will consecrate the remains and release any lingering spirits from this world.
You my blade. I had no idea we'd get to do things like this.
You are doing the Divine's work. Deliver their light to the deepest reaches of this world.
Have you brought good news? I tire of Silgret's judging stares. I still have trouble believing that there's a vast black pit underneath the hold where terrible things are waiting to drag us off and eat us. It'd be better for my sleep if I never do. Take your gold, and let's never speak of this again. The Swords of Solitude are grateful for your assistance. We'll make use of your talents again, to be sure.
Arke, preserve us from the terrible fate lurking below us.
If you're seeking excitement, the Swords of Solitude can provide. Wager your life and reap your winnings. Or at least die with some honor and be able to look your ancestors in the eye. An explorer limped into town, warning of a giant dwarven colossus, endlessly building upon itself somewhere far beneath the earth. I'd say let sleeping dwarves lie, but the explorer believes the thing will only grow more large and dangerous with time. Destroy it, and any dwarven scrap laying around as well, just to be sure the thing doesn't somehow repair itself if you manage to break it. Here's where the explorer claims to have found this giant construct. Good luck. Be quick and be victorious. The Swords of Solitude's reputation demands it. Winfred claims that she was searching for some caves far to the south when the ground gave way, and she tumbled through a series of tubes and ducts until they spit her out into some dwarven ruin deep underground. I wouldn't recommend taking her route. Truthfully, we don't deal with dwarven constructs very often. Those things tend to stay within the boundaries of their ruins, so they're only ever trouble for adventurers. This colossus isn't behaving like most constructs, though, so I'd be wary.
What do you want?
I'm telling them it's true, but do they listen? I know I've got a few nuts on my head the size of a pear, but I didn't imagine a giant dwarven construct scooping up scrap to cobble onto itself. It's real! Well, I'll be. I thought Hidaver was just telling me they'd look into it to get me to go away. She told you that it's some sort of colossus. A big lumbering thing with whirling blades that spray fire and steam everywhere, and that is getting bigger. Sturdy as dwarven works can be, they aren't invulnerable. I'm certain this strange thing has a weakness. It keeps building upon itself, but who knows if it's very good at it. You might knock one bolt loose and collapse the whole thing to pieces. I think it was Blackreach. Beyond the ruin, it was endless caverns lit by glowing fungus and crystals, like nothing I've ever seen. I didn't wander far, but I found a working dwarven lift and rode it out of the darkness before anything noticed me. Maybe I'll head back to those ruins once you've stopped that mechanical terror. There are bound to be some less dangerous discoveries to be made.
And that's the end of that tale. What is it?
What's the word on the task I gave you? Is Skyrim a little safer today? I thought I might be sending you on a wild goose chase, but it seems Winfred wasn't exaggerating her discovery. I wish more of these troubling claims turned out to be nothing at all. Here's your payment. Hope you won't be spending it all on repairs. Try not to celebrate too enthusiastically. We'll likely need you in fighting shape again soon.